Hello everybody, hope you're having a great Monday, October 29th, and great start to the week. We've got an interesting lineup on the Forex markets for going into the first week of November here. Don't forget, I'll show you here in a minute, it is NFP numbers coming out on Friday, so make sure you don't get caught trading on Fridays. If I were you, I would probably wrap my trading up by Wednesday. I am, at least anyway. Looking at Thursday, could be some opportunities, but definitely the markets don't always like to do what you anticipate them to do a lot of times right before NFP numbers come out. So trade this week, don't trade this week, totally up to you, but I'll bring up the Forex calendar here, and you can see what's on tap for the week. So, Monday we had a whole bunch of medium impact news events. Sideways day today. I wasn't active doing really anything. And I'll show you here in a minute, but price didn't really do a whole bunch until just getting into the Asian session here a couple hours ago. Price started to move on a few pairs. I'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but Monday, pretty dull day. Again, I opened up the markets, kind of saw price chopping sideways, and didn't really do a whole bunch for good reason. Tuesday, going into tomorrow. So we are about 25 minutes till London Open New York time. I'm not going to be on here for very long. Just wanted to jump in and just run a couple of quick ideas by you here. Because again, it's non-farm week, so you know I'm not going to be too crazy about getting in here and you know holding for 100 pip ranges or anything like that. I just want to get in and get out. You know, if I can pick up 40 or 50 pips on the week, that'll be my week and I'll be done. And you never know, might get lucky and hit one out of the park. Who knows? But with that being said, going into Tuesday, we've got some Euro news coming up. Medium impact news event to start us off, and this is early New York Open, the prelim flash GDP numbers, and then we've got a high impact news event for the US dollar coming in later New York, sort of about midday, and that's the CB consumer confidence. So I'm assuming we're probably going to have a pretty good drive in price, a little bit of volatility potentially, and some liquidity put into the marketplace with these numbers coming out. And then at the end of the day, we have the Canadian dollar, Bank of Canada governor speaking. Probably won't do a whole bunch. He doesn't say anything that nobody already knows as it is anyway, so I wouldn't expect fireworks or anything like that. But I got some ideas on the Canadian dollar that I think we could see come to fruition tomorrow. So I'll set that up here as well, too. And then Australian dollar with some high-impact CPI and the trimmed mean CPI data. And then, tentatively speaking, the yen has some news, some monetary policy statements, and everything else. So I would not, if I were you, be trading the yen. If you are in a trade, good for you. I'll talk about that here in a second as well too, but probably going to be jumping price around. And it's tentative, which I don't know why. I'm just going to pull up one other news item here very quickly here. And see if I can't refine those times when they're coming in. Give me 1 second here, it's going to load up. One second, guys. I'm just there we go. Just found out something cool that I just noticed there. Okay, so going into Tuesday, Sorry about that. I guess I can bring up what I'm seeing as well too. So you'll check it out. Okay, so we've got, of course, all of this Euro news event stuff that I was talking about earlier, medium impact news events coming in first thing in the morning. Then we get the high impact news events coming out. And then later in the day, we have this Governor Poles speaking again. Scrolling all the way down here, we have some yen news here, but that's low impact, so nothing there. And, you know, the Australian dollar that I mentioned to you, and here we go. And yeah, and again, it says NA, so, you know, again, I would just maybe be a little hesitant on trading the yen going into tomorrow, because this could land, I mean, unless they decide to firm this up at the last minute. Keep an eye on the calendar and the time on when they decide to release this, because they could just kind of drop the bomb anywhere. And they actually go into right into Wednesday as well too. So which kind of leads me to believe it's probably later in the day Asian session for tomorrow, and then going into the New York session, London Open session for Wednesday. Tons and tons and tons of yen news. So unless you know exactly what it's going to do and where it's going to go, I would probably recommend staying out of the yen until that's all wrapped up. So that's my 2 cents on that. Get rid of that. And then going into Wednesday, again, some more medium impact news events for the euro, a little more for the Canadian dollar. And then Poles is speaking again late in the day on Wednesday. So probably a fairly good trading day on Wednesday as well, too. Tuesday and Wednesday probably going to offer some pretty good days. And then the news events start to hit. So we've got a French holiday, an Italian bank holiday on Thursday. We've got a ton of high impact cable news coming out. Sorry, I shouldn't say cable. Pound news coming out. And followed up by Governor Carney speaking, and then we got ISM manufacturing news events on Thursday, and to finish all off with Australian dollar news. So again, Thursday, I'm not going to be trading Thursday. Going to be pretty volatile. I'd stay out of the euro if you are going to trade, and probably the cable. Anything related to the pound, you're going to probably see some fluctuation and volatility on it. So I'd probably elect to maybe just relax on that as well too. So. Just so you're kind of getting an idea. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to type a quick note here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had to do a real quick post here. So, and then obviously, like I was saying, going into Friday, where are we here? Friday, we've got the some more pound news, some Canadian dollar news, average hourly earnings, and then of course non-farm and unemployment rate, and so we'll probably see some erratic price action on Friday as well too. So like I say, this week all the bulk of the trading should be done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the week, and I would call it done if you can grab some pips. Monday wasn't a very good day today, so today basically, and I'll kind of show you why here. Monday, and I didn't trade anything on Monday, so not like I was winning or losing, but the U.S. dollar had a fairly decent size up day in relation, in comparison to the other bullish candle days for Monday. As you can see here, didn't take out the old high from last Friday, but made a very, very valiant effort to push above the body highs from last week. So that's very encouraging to see that. But then you go to the euro, and the euro really, it had a down day, but it was kind of all over the place. Price was really fluctuating. Ran higher, then ran lower, and then kind of finished up somewhere in the middle. Pound, same type of idea, ran higher, ran lower, and actually finished down on the day. So it was kind of, and those are really the only thing that I was looking at, other than the Canadian dollar, which I'll go through here in a minute, but I just didn't really see anything that I really liked in the market, so I stayed clear of it. But talking about the U.S. dollar, I'd like to see one nice push above here if we can get it. I'm kind of thinking we'll probably see price run down a little bit, and I believe this little, see this 1, 2, 3 candle consolidation level right in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see if we didn't see price run back down to the 96.30 level. And I'll see if I can't get the highs on these guys. 96, that's not the close I'm looking for. 33, yeah, right in around there. 33, 35, somewhere right in and around there. You know what, I'm going to say 30. I kind of like that a little bit better for whatever reason, but I'd kind of like to see price pull back down a little bit and then start to gather some support in this area, the 96.30, and then I'd like to see a bounce and have it run higher. So we'll just kind of do something like this so you can kind of see. That's what I'd like to see. If price starts to really jam down and it starts to want to try to take out these lows right here, then what could happen there is that we'll see price return back down to this level, back down here. See all these candles in here? Again, the highs of the wicks and that consolidation level. We could potentially see price run back down into there if we lose this low right here. So just be cognizant of that. If you do decide to take the opposite trade on the euro or the cable, for instance, just make sure that you, if this does break here, make sure that you know that those other pairs are probably going to go the opposite way. So just be aware of that. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here for continuation. Again, it's non-farm, so more than likely, if they're going to make any significant high, I don't know if this high is going to get taken out. I'll be honest with you, I kind of believe that they won't take this high out. And I say that now, and they'll probably make a run for it tomorrow or Wednesday, or run for it on Thursday or whatever. But if I'm wrong, whatever, I'm wrong. But I kind of feel like they're going to leave this level for next week. But rest assured, I believe they will take this level out. They came up, the high out last week came up just came up above the bodies of this candle right here. Typically when I see price do that, it comes up and it's on a nice bullish run and it comes up and then it fails to do that and really push higher and get up above these guys convincingly. That typically to me could be the start of a failure swing. So we have price run up, take some new highs, run back down, take all the lows, have a nice big run up and come in here, and when they do this one little wick, a lot of times they'll come back down and rebalance at a lower price. And if that's the case, you know, we could see price wanting to come back all the way back down to 50% of this move, which coincidentally resides right at this consolidation level right in here, which is a very, very, very highly traded area that price is in. So I don't know that's going to happen. I'm just saying if we fail to take out that high this week, they could want to take price back down, or at least reserve taking out that high until next week. So I don't, and again, I don't think this is highly probable. The only reason I'm suggesting that right now is because there's a couple of equal lows right under those two candle wicks right there. That they never came back up to rebalance price in. So I'm kind of thinking that potentially it might be a target down the road somewhere. Don't think it's going to happen this week or anything like that. But again, if we lose these lows here, then price will definitely want to come back down to this blue range right here. So we'll watch for that. But going forward on this week, again, I'm not expecting too much. I'd like to see a little bit of dip if we can get a little bit of support here at the 96.30 level. I would be anticipating potential pop if we do get that support, and who knows, maybe we'll get the candle to close above these highs here. What I'm looking for is a candle to close above this wick right here. But if they keep sitting in here and keep wick, then the chances and likelihood of them smashing it up are going to get lower and lower. So anyway, that being said, Euro USD. Let's talk about this guy here for a second. I came down into these two equal lows right here, ran the stops out convincingly, and been consolidating ever since for the past 4 days. Again, this is another reason why I didn't trade the euro today. Hasn't really been great price action. I've been waiting and wanting for them to take out this low here. And again, same thing as the US dollar. They've been waiting on it, building up sentiments potentially. You know, I don't know. I got to clear this chart out. It's driving me crazy. So this is the target, obviously, right down here. This wick low right here, that's where I believe they're going to be taking it. I think if they were going to reject at this level and run this thing higher, they would have done it. But that's not to say that they can't. Like I say, come down, reject one more time right around the bottom of this wick, and then push this thing a bit higher for the short term to come up here and rebalance the price above this area in here. It's definitely possible. Very unlikely, I believe, but again, just remember, realm of possibilities, it could happen. But they definitely can trade this area very, very well. So I'm hoping that we're going to see a continuation lower. But like I said, this week we could see price just chop sideways for a bit, and them not taking this low, and them just hovering on it, and then finally, at the end of the week or next week or something, they smash through that low. So we'll see. But I've got nothing so far on this this pair. Like, it's not really doing anything for me that I like. The U.S. dollar, I think convincingly, we do have a pocket of price that I think we're going to trade down to the 96.30 level, there in abouts. I don't see the corresponding level in the Euro USD that I like, to be honest with you. They may want to trade price up to here again. Maybe even... So I'm just getting a level here. 114.40 could be a level that they may want to retrade to. Pretty far away. I mean, that's 113.80 right now. It's 60 pips away. Come on. 60 pips away, so I mean, it could be possible. But and again, if they did trade all the way back up to here, going into London today, they'd be creating the high of the week, and then I'd hope they'd run price over and start dropping it from there. That could be a likely scenario. So if they can't get any higher, but here's the thing, if they can't get any higher than this candle high here or this candle high here, then I wouldn't really expect them to come up with a 114.40 level. I'd expect them to either just chop it sideways or to start making a break for this low down here. But very, very similar to the Euro USD, they did come down and just wick below the bodies of these candles and have elected to sit sideways on it. So not very exciting price trading right now on the Euro USD. So let's look elsewhere for now. But again, if we do see this move in the US dollar, I'd be looking for something corresponding in the euro, which would be something kind of like this. It's such a small range. From where we're currently at 96.39 to 96.30. I don't think that's going to equate to a 60 pip run up from our current location. Let me just drop down to a lower time frame here and just kind of have a quick peek. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I kind of think that if they're going to go higher, based off of this hourly, copper. I'll talk about copper in a few minutes here. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I don't know if Dave, if you're part of this. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got a message from one of our members here. Okay, sorry guys, sorry about that. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking this 113.85 level could act as a way of support, and this is what I was talking about today. Today's trading on the euro. Like, look at this trading. This day was terrible. That's a bad day to be involved in the markets. You don't want to be in anything like that. This is a good day. This is a good day. This is a bad day. They're just hunting stops on this day right here. They took the stops below the market, they took the stops above the market, and they sat down and basically finished right in the middle of the range. So not a great trading day. So going forward, if price is starting to run above here, I'd be suspect. They may want to make a real quick break for these two equal highs here, but I don't see that as a real high probability target. I'd kind of like to see them just start to drop the market lower from here. But again, because of the week that we're in, they could elect to just sit this thing sideways for the rest of the week. I highly doubt it, but that is an option. I've seen them do that. But right now, I don't see anything in here that I like to trade. We just created a new low last Friday there, and markets are going to cool off a little bit. and they may not want to run for this this corresponding low here anytime soon. So just be prepared for that. We could see price just kind of running and going sideways. They could come up and take these stops here. I do like this area. I really like this area right above here, but you see the reaction here off of that level there. Kind of leads me to believe that they're not going to return to that after that price action. So them coming up today, late Friday, and then today trying to get above these highs and not being able to do it kind of leads me to believe that they're probably going to sink this thing lower. So if price does start running, let me put it this way. If price starts going higher than current location or any higher than this small little block of price action right here, I wouldn't suggest you get short. If this red line right here decides to defend price, and I'd maybe even give it a little bit of wiggle room, like maybe even up to even the high of this candle here at 113.87, 113.90 on the very high side. Don't let price go any further than that if you're looking at getting short, because if that's the case, then it's going to run up higher. And again, it's not conducive to what I'm thinking the U.S. dollar is going to do. I think the U.S. dollar is going to continue higher eventually. And so anything opposite, if this Euro USD starts to trade higher, it's not conducive to the overall picture of the markets. And I don't want to be part of that. So I'd elect to make sure I'm getting in on the correct motive wave down. So anyway, all this yammering I'm just basically saying here is I don't see anything on the Euro USD that I like today as a setup right now. That could change, and if it does, I'll let you know. Pound dollar. Let me work off a fresh chart here. New week, new charts. Okay. So pound dollar still. Okay, so they just took this low here from this interim low here. Just ran that briefly on Friday's trading. Monday was a big smasher down, and then now Tuesday we're starting to push price back up. So if you take the close on this candle here, coming in at 128.24, I don't want to see price go any higher than that. 128, and I'll put a tag on it so you guys can see it. Whoops, I didn't want that to go up that high. That was the open, sorry. I'm looking at the 128.14. That's what I was looking for. Got the wrong price level. So call it 128.15 on the high side. Very close to what we're trading at right now. It's only about 7-8 pips away from right now. I don't want to see price go any higher than that. If it goes higher, I'd maybe give it to 128.20 at the very most. Price goes higher than that, I'm not interested, because more than likely they're probably going to want to take it up to, let me just get a level, 128.65. And if they do that, if they do that, that's great, because then we can take some levels off of there, and I'd be looking for a short then. But until they do that, if they do that, I'd be looking to go short from where the current location pretty much is. But if that 128.20 level gets run, not interested at all. Because I'm looking for this thing to go down lower, and I'm looking for them again, same corresponding low as the high in the US dollar. I think that's where it's going to head eventually. And that's a nice trade. I mean, that's a nice trade away. I'm hoping they get there before Thursday, but like the similar comments on the US dollar, it may not do it because it is non-farm. And there is all that Bank of England news coming out on Thursday, so be cognizant of that. Price could just start screaming the other way and rebalance up in this level up here. Not that high, but rebalance in this level up here before they want to go back down again. So just watch out for that. There is definitely that option. And look what they're doing right now. They're actually starting to push it up right now. I think this high right here, you see how they came in, ran this high and rejected? I'm hoping that's going to be the high of the week right there for Monday. Or maybe not the week, but the high for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at least anyway. Thursday, all bets are off because we got all that crazy news coming out. So they could spike this thing up or down, 100 or 200 pips. Who knows? I'm hoping this is the high, though, so far on the week that we're going to see. And then we can trade off of that. But, yeah, like I say, This 128.15, maybe 128.20 on the high side. I'd hope that would start offering some resistance, and then we could start to see price roll over from there. I'll be watching that level, and if I do see a break on it or some hesitation to go higher, then I might be taking a trade there. And I'll be looking for them just as kind of a real quick down and dirty trade. I mean, that's a 50 pip trade, 60 pip trade if you can get a run 10 pips below this low here. And that'd be it for me on the week. I wouldn't want to see, I wouldn't be holding out for anything more than just that move right there. And that'd be kind of a one and done sort of thing. That's just to get run underneath this guy here. And away we go. So that's sort of really all I'm looking for on the cable right now. I know it's again, it's non-farm week, so you got to be cautious. If you were with us the past couple of weeks, it's been a great couple of weeks. Price has been moving wonderful. And you know what? It's a week to kind of cool off and just sort of study price and not get too crazy. So take it for what it is. If you got anything to do that's not Forex or trading related, this is the week to get it done, and that's really all it is, all it comes down to. So anyway, I'll be watching for that. Put that on the radar. Euro pound. So the euro pound is finally making some progress back up after it had this crazy move downward. Euro pound is very, very heavily manipulated. If you trade this, guys, I mean, hats off to you. I don't trade this at all, unless there's something very, very obvious on the charts. But like, they just kind of manipulate this pair to kind of coincide with whatever the euro and the euro USD and the pound USD are doing at their whim. Like they smash price all the way back down here just to not come down and take these lows under here and then rip it all the way back up. You know, and price should have reversed at a logical level, i.e. right here. Didn't, so they're taking this thing higher. So what I'm saying by this is, if this is starting to run higher, it's going to give strength to the euro USD, and it could consolidate cable for the interim. So just keep that in mind. Right now we're not getting a clear signal on this, but they've been moving this thing for the past 2-3 weeks here, all the way back up here. So pretty interesting price action on Euro GBP. And I don't see why it would continue to stop anytime soon. We'll probably see this continue to move higher. Would have really liked them to take out this low right here, but as you can see, that obviously wasn't on the menu for what they were looking for. Let's see if they took this low here. Just took that low. Yeah, that just under that low, rejected, and away we go. Off to the races, and then he will probably elect to try and run things back up to this high in here. So, okay, US CAD, real quickly, and then I'm going to talk about one or two other futures, and then that's it. So, US CAD had a nice sort of rundown. We are looking, again, for higher prices on the US CAD. Nice little trend line setting up right here, as you can see, retail speaking. Highs up here that I believe they could be gunning for. Just failed to get above that last week. Price came down on Monday, smashed back down, and now it's sort of restabilizing at the current location here. So again, looking for higher prices. The 130, 100, sorry, the 130, 100 level was obviously on the menu for Monday, and they came down and got that quite nicely. So I don't want to see price go any lower than that. Really, to be honest with you, the lowest I'd like to see price go down to at the very, very most would be the 130.90 level at the very most, if it just price decides to just do a quick stop run. If we get any lower than that, then I'm not going to be looking at anything on the Canadian dollar. If actually, to be honest with you, if they get lower than this swing low here, I'd be looking for them to try and maybe stretch down and try and take out this 1, 2, 3 low under here. I doubt it, though. I honestly doubt it. I'll put this on here right now just because it's on there. But I think the ultimate goal on manipulation is higher for the US CAD. I really believe they're going to start moving price north on this one. Again, just to coincide with last week's big rate announcement, where they dropped price down just to clear out all the stops under the market and then ripped it back up. I don't know if any of you followed me last week, but I got in on this trade right here, and I actually got in right here. 120, sorry, 130 even, I believe it was, or 130.01 by the time the spread hit. And I rode this thing all the way up, and I cashed out somewhere up in this range right here. So great trade last week for me on the Canadian dollar. I'm not going to push my luck on this one, though, either. I'm not going to be holding out for, 132.25 this week. I don't believe that's going to be on tap. But you never know. I mean, if we get enough crazy movement in the U.S. dollar and that Canadian dollar news that's coming out at the end of the week, you never know. Crazier things have happened. So we could see it. But I would, again, just elect to kind of reserve a little bit of caution. If price does finally move up from here, which it is doing nicely. This, again, this 130, 100 level got tagged, and it's moved about 10 pips off of that high. 12 pips off the high so far, and so nice moving. But if you can get, again, if you can get a run above this high here, and potentially maybe even 10 pips above that, you might be able to bag 60 pips on the week on the Canadian dollar. So not too bad. Okay, not gonna talk about the yen, Aussie. What do we got in the Aussie? Look at this liquidity run right down here. Boom, ran all these lows under here. Let me zoom in a bit. Ran all these lows under here, and just sat in a sideways consolidation. Look at that. This thing has been going absolutely nowhere for the past month of trading. I mean, it's crazy. They literally have just been sitting in a 60 to 75 pip trading range. What is this trading range right here? 100 pip trading range. Sorry, and sitting in a 100 pip trading range for the past month. It's pretty amazing. They're just, I don't know about this pair. I was hoping to see higher prices, but so far we have seen just a steady slide down, and I don't really see anything that's going to change that in the near future. They came down, they ran both of these lows under here, came back up just to come down one more time. And again, sitting sideways. They got a big low under here. I'm on a weekly chart, by the way, folks. And then this is a monthly, and you can see these big lows back in July of 2008. Who knows? That may be on the menu. I don't know. I've just, if we see continuation higher on the dollar, we should see Aussie continue lower. So with that being said, we could see these lows under here get run, and ultimately maybe a challenge back down under these lows here. So I was hoping after we took this stop run right here, these lows out here, I was looking for them to come and rebalance price above these highs right in here. There's just such a beautiful area up there that I was really hoping they were going to take those highs and run them back up to. They never did, and they're leaving it obviously for a later date. Like look at this. I mean, created a high here, a lower high, 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 lower high. And they have never come back once, not one time in this period to raid any stops above the market. So, I mean, all the big funds and all the institutions and everything, they've all got stops above. And they just keep, every time it makes another lower swing high, everybody's just jamming their stops under or right above all of these places right in here. And that's where all the stops are residing. So when this thing does finally turn around, man, it's just going to be a buy and hold. And I mean, it's going to be like dominoes, just da-ding, 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 all the way up. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Aussie. I don't really have anything because it's been sitting in this range. And again, all I can tell you, if dollar goes up, this should go down. But as you can see, dollar's been going up, and this has been going sideways. Hasn't been doing anything. So that's kind of why I'm going to sit on my hands on the Aussie. I don't see anything that I like right now personally. This 0.7200 level, if they do want to run it up, that would be my first target on the upside, and then obviously my downside target. Whoops, too far. My downside target is just going to be this low underneath right here for now, if they decide to run it lower. But they're consolidating. They're going nowhere fast. And this consolidation, I mean, it could last as long as this consolidation lasted. Who knows? I mean, this consolidation lasted how many, whoops, how many trading days was this? Hang on. This consolidation lasted 40 trading days. 38 to 40 trading days right in here. So 2 months of trading. They literally sat price sideways. And, you know, just kind of in relation, we're only about halfway right now. So you never know. They could consolidate this thing a lot longer. So I'm going to hold off on the Australian dollar. If you like it, by all means, trade it. Good luck to you. But I just don't have anything to talk about it other than they just ran stops underneath here briefly, which was kind of nice, and then rejected. And now they come back again one more time, rejected, and they could be running higher. So like I say, just watch this level up here. They may be wanting a gun for it. So, okay, quickly, crude oil, doom and gloom. Don't see anything I like on crude oil. Price consolidating again. Russia and Saudi Arabia, they are all flooding the market again with oil. They're driving price down. The sanctions on Iran aren't going to do anything. Iran is still selling to companies and to countries despite the sanctions. I mean, think about this. I mean, who is the U.S. to come in and say you can't sell your oil to someone else? You know, they're basically just kind of sticking their middle finger up to the U.S. right now, and they're still selling it, and they'll continue to sell it. And so I don't believe that's going to cause any supply disruptions on the market or anything of that nature. And so we're probably going to see price cascade down a little bit lower, in which case this area under here is kind of where I'm sort of thinking they're going to bring price. 64.25. I'm going to call that right now. That's a prediction. If it doesn't, great. I hope it doesn't. I'd like to stay and continue to remain bullish oil. However, there's just so much going on right now that we could see this thing going down. And just keep in mind, seasonally speaking, crude oil typically declines in the fall and then picks up some serious strength in the first 3-4 months of the new year. So that's exactly sort of what we're seeing right here. We could see a further decline on crude oil for another couple months, only for price to stabilize, i.e. under here, maybe under here, or even under here, and then start to turn around and head north again very, very rapidly. And when they move it higher, they move it higher quickly. So as you can see from this upswing right here. So there you go. That's crude oil. I don't really have anything for you for a trade on crude oil. Oops, didn't mean to go on that high. Other than the fact of, I'd like to see if they want to come up for here. And if they decide to trade into here, 68.45, sorry, 68.40, call it, I'd expect a little sensitivity at this level. And if they did come up to there, I would watch this level, and I might be interested in taking a short. I wouldn't, however, let price go any higher than $69. If price went higher than 69, then they could want to come and run prices above here. And if they get above there, then they could run it up to there. Who knows? But I kind of like the continuation to the downside here, and I believe that we may not get it. Just keep that in mind. They could just roll price over right from where it is and then start to run it lower, but I believe we're probably going to take out these lows here eventually. It might not happen this week. It could sit sideways for the rest of this week. I don't know. It's consolidating quite nicely, and it has been for the past week and a half. And it might continue to do so. Crude oil inventory numbers are coming out on Thursday of this week. And, wait, I'm incorrect on that. Sorry. Wednesday of this week. Crude oil inventory numbers are coming out, so just bear in mind we could see continued sideways price action until that happens for another day or so. So that's all I got on crude oil. Real quickly, though, I had a request to discuss copper. Copper. Oh, yeah, copper. Right. Copper's interesting. Copper's got my attention. See what they're doing here? They're building sentiment in. And what does this look like to you guys? kind of like a bull flag sort of pattern. Just so you guys know, I don't trade this pattern at all, but I'm just kind of making a reference for it. I mean, it couldn't be any more perfect. Price came down, consolidated, popped up, huge consolidation for the past, Jesus, this thing's been consolidating for a month. Since September 24th, it's been consolidating for over a month now. Usually when they consolidate price that much, something big is about to happen. What I'm looking for on this is a quick rundown and a trade back to the 265 level. We can almost got it there on Monday's trading. Sorry, this was Friday's trading. If I can get my dates right. This was, I'm sorry, no, this was Monday's trading. Price has already opened up. We're now trading on Tuesday. This was Monday's trading. They almost got down there on Monday and saw a little bit of sensitivity and rejected. So far, it's pushing higher. I hope this isn't the low. I hope Monday wasn't the low. I hope they come down one more time and tag this 2650 level. And they may not go that deep, but somewhere in that neighborhood is sort of where I'm looking. If they come down one more time, it might be worth taking along just as a shot. I wouldn't leave it. Don't give it a lot of room to run if it does go against you. Like the 262 level would be, in my opinion, probably the absolute maximum that I would let price go against me if it does come and trade down there. If I did go long at this level here, I wouldn't let it go any lower than that. But I like what I'm seeing here, and the only reason I like it is because look at this price. Look how high they rammed this price and was up here for over a year, and then they smashed it back down, leaving two perfectly equal highs up here, smashed price back down, and came back in now. And I don't have any further price action here on this chart. I'd have to bring up like a bar chart or something like that. But so far, failure to go any lower under here. So we'll see what happens. But also look at what's setting up here as well too. I mean, again, I'm not a big retail trader, in terms of patterns or anything like that. I'm looking specifically at a few areas that I'm not discussing with you guys for obvious reasons. But look at this. I mean, what does this look like to you? A little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. And what typically happens on the next leg of the shoulder after that shoulder is broken, after this level here is broken, what typically ends up happening on a head and shoulders pattern? Price cascades higher. And if you look at commodities, look at some of these things. Like look at coffee, for instance. Look at the run on coffee. They finally came down off of those highs, and they're rebalancing lower. I don't know if this coffee runs over. They've just failed to take out those two highs there. I'm going to look to see if they have any support either here or here. I don't know that they may want to come all the way back down to here. I hope not. But we'll see if they want to have any support at these two levels here. But you see this big rip up in there. There was another big rip on, I believe it was sugar. Yeah, look at sugar. Sugar had another big rip. Nat gas had a big push up. Where was it? There was another one. I don't think it was cotton. Cocoa had a nice push higher after it just swept the lows here. Not as big of a run, obviously. So anyway, long story short, I'm looking to see if copper wants to put in the same work. Now, just kind of going off some of the historical data, if you look at the historical... hang on here. Give me 1 second here. That would be why I'm on the wrong tab. Oh, man. 1 second here, guys. I just got to bring it up, and then I want to verify what the seasonalities are doing here. So going into metals, copper. I'll just show you this chart here real quick, and we'll see if we can decipher any information off of this thing here. So if you look at this, where we're currently sitting, So October, and again, this is exactly what the chart is doing. We're consolidating for most of the month of from September on, and then after after October ends, we kind of get into November, and then we start to see this. Like, look at this blue line. This is the 40-year, the blue line. You start to see price bottoming out sort of the end of October there, early November, and then look at price starting to shoot up, and then shoots up right towards the end of the year. So I'm kind of liking where we're at on copper right now. And again, I'm going to keep watching this. Keep your eyes on it as well. And if price comes down to the 26.50 level, just watch it. I'm not saying jump in and put all your money in on a long. And by the way, don't put any money on this. This is all hypothetically speaking. I'm not a licensed commodities broker, any way, shape, or form. So this is only my thoughts only. This does not constitute you taking live trades or risking any of your money. You can lose money in the Forex and futures markets. And these are just my ideas and opinions only. If you decide to act on them, I don't want to know about it. You guys have heard this before. It's the same spiel. My word is not gold. So again, just an interesting area that I'm looking at here is all that I'm saying. So keep your eyes on it. Don't let it go. If you do decide to take action, don't let it go any lower than that red line there, because that just could mean that they're coming down one more time to sweep these lows here, which, you know, there could be an opportunity there as well too, but I'm just saying it's coming into a very interesting area right now. And so, you know, just put an alert out on your trading platform there, and to alert you if price does ever come down to this 265 level. So, okay, that's all I got to say on copper. That's it. That's all, guys. Don't have anything else for you. Bitcoin doing absolutely nothing as per usual. They are building up massive sentiment into this market. And look what they're doing. I mean, just look at what these guys are doing. They're sitting here, and they're not taking the lows. They're running price all the way up almost to 20,000. They come back down, smash it down. Everyone thinks this is low, so they all buy, just to run price up prematurely and then smash it down and smash it down and smash it and smash it and just sit on here. And everybody thinking right here in this whole area of price since early summer, they're thinking that this is the low, this is the bottom, this is support. Price isn't going anywhere from here. It's just going to keep going higher. I think it will eventually go higher, but I believe it's going lower before it goes higher. And I think it's going underneath here for sure. And I'll probably retag off of this old high right here at 49.20. So just bear that in mind, cryptocurrency holders. It's kind of cooled off a little bit, and I think that's by design. I think they're trying to pull some of the sentiment out of the market, and some of the retail traders who were correct on this big run up here. I honestly believe that they're just driving people out of the markets and forcing them to sell their positions, and they're just going to sell it right into the hands of big money. You know, big banks, financial institutions, all the guys who didn't get involved in this run up here. I think that they're just pushing price down in order to sell it. To buy up all of the liquidity under here. And these are all the retail traders who were right initially. So, anyway, that's just my thoughts, quick, down and dirty on Bitcoin. Again, non-farm week, guys, so don't expect miracles or fireworks. If you can get in and get out for 40, 50, 60 pips, take it, be done with it, call it a day. Don't trade anymore after Thursday. Sorry, especially Thursday. Don't trade anymore after Wednesday if you can help it. And next week, though, it's the start of another new week, new month, and starting to cap off the end of the year. It's crazy already. 2018 is literally almost 60 days from being over. Can you believe that? Like, I mean, where does the time go? I mean, it's like yesterday it was January. Now we're already almost into November here. It's unbelievable. So, in terms of trading from the markets, you should be making the bulk majority of your money September, October, November. December starts to get quiet again because big money starts moving to the sidelines for holidays and things like that. And so this next 30-day push, if you're looking at doing anything in the markets and making any money, now's the time to do it. So buck up, get into it, get involved. Again, none of my stuff constitutes any trading advice whatsoever, so I would highly recommend you consult professional opinions before you invest in any market, and don't take my ideas and risk live funds on it. You do your own due diligence, your own research, your own estimations on what price is going to do, and trade because of that. So anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday and Tuesday now if you're on the East Coast. And I will be back. Dave will be on tomorrow, going into, on Wednesday morning, doing the New York Open. And he will be trading the S&P, which, by the way, has been taking an absolute shit kicking the past 3 weeks. I mean, look at this. It's pretty incredible. They even smashed price down again on Monday. Look at that big candle. One of the biggest candles that we've seen on Monday. I mean, look at this thing. If you got short up here, side note, like if you took this short off of this candle right there, and you picked up, just to give you an estimation, that is 1,000 ticks in one trading day on a Monday. 1,000 ticks times 5. One contract. You could have made $5 grand today just on trading that right there. So pretty crazy. And I don't know if they're done. I honestly, I don't know if they're done yet. And the price so far has had a pretty nice reaction. You see the close of these bodies respecting this red line. But ultimately, there's some stops underneath this wick right here that they could be coming down for. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the S&P too much here. Dave is going to be talking about this on Wednesday. He'll be discussing it from a technical point of view, and he can tell you if there's anything worth doing. But I'm not necessarily buying the S&P yet. If they come down underneath these two equal lows here, that might be something interesting that you can watch for. But until that happens, yeah, you know, I'm going to stay away from the S&P for a little bit. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate that. And Dave will be in on Wednesday. I'll be back again Thursday. And NFP's Friday. Have some caution in your trading. And we'll catch up to you a little later. Thanks.